Hello everybody and welcome to the Creatrix YouTube channel. I welcome you all in a fresh session of analog electronics. And my dear friends, when I say we are going to learn analog electronics from the very basic, I mean it. We will be learning from the very basic level to the very advanced level along with a lots and lots of questions. So before we do that, let me first introduce myself for my friend who is meeting me for the first time. My dear friends, my name is Ankit Goyal. I got AIR1 twice in GATE in 2014 and 2018. I was awarded the President of India Gold Medal in the year 2013 when I graduated from IIT Indore. Till date, I have trained more than 1 lakh students in the online and the offline classes and presently working as a director at an academy for GATE department. But my dear friends, the reason behind this series is because of the huge demand of analog electronics and the belief that whenever you ask for anything, we are there to deliver. Yes, my dear friends, we are here for you. We are here delivering for you. And when we say it, we'll support you to the very fullest level. And this series will help you crack GATE with the top rank. It will enable EC student to get 12 out of 12 and 5 out of 5 for electrical students. So my dear friends, if you want to learn with us live, then you can join an academy using the code AnkitESE to get an immediate 10% discount. And not only, my dear friend, 10% discount, it also brings you under my guidance so that I can help you do something that I have done. I can at least take you near to this goal. Okay. So if you also dream the same thing, then join me in this journey on an academy subscription using the code AnkitESE. Now, my dear friend, if you like the content that I deliver, you can watch more of my free videos on this URL, tinyurl.com/AnkitESE. Here you will find all my videos arranged subject-wise, chapter-wise, and you will find great content for free. And you are definitely going to love it. You are definitely going to enjoy. It not only includes conceptual videos, but it also includes problem-solving sessions. So just visit this once and you will fall in love with this URL. Don't forget it. It is a lifeline for you. And if you love the content that we are delivering on YouTube, we have created the first ever video book for you guys, where you will find all the videos along with all the notes that we provide arranged subject wise, chapter wise. So now, my dear friends, your dreams are no longer dreams. They are becoming a reality because you are getting a top quality course, well arranged, well structured, and that too for free. So what can be better than that? What can be better than that? Nothing, my dear friends. So we have empowered the dreams of those who earlier used to think that only the person with a huge amount of money can crack GATE with a top rank. No, my dear friends, that is not the case. Even you can do. Even you can do it. But yes, just you need to believe in yourself and visit this link. But remember, this is a case sensitive link, so write this in uppercase. Other than that, if you join plus subscription, you get all the top educators like me teaching you live in daily lectures, along with providing you daily practice paper, weekly quiz, test series, previous year question, practice question, crash course, rank improvement batch, and most importantly, clearing your each and every doubt. So if you join plus subscription, it is an entire world inside it. So you don't have to look outside. Once you enter plus, every need of yours will be taken care of, and we will make your journey as smooth as possible towards that destination of getting under 100, under 10 rank. Believe me, my friend, you leave that strategy part to us. You leave the content part to us. You just work hard and we will make sure that you obtain the top rank in GATE and ESE. And Iconic is a big brother of Plus. Yes, this is a little brother. So Iconic gives you everything that a Plus subscription gives, along with much more. The major part of Iconic is this personal coach, a person dedicated to you on a daily basis to get you the top rank, guiding you, getting your schedule design, making your strategy. Everything that you need to get the top rank is being done by this personal coach. He'll also create a study planner for you, which you can follow blindly and reach your destination with utmost ease. They will be analyzing your test result and tell you where you are lacking, how you can improve. So that way, my dear friend, everybody else will get a standard analysis, but you will get an analysis just tailor-made for you. Along with it, we have included study material additionally, theory and question bank, and soon we'll be introducing interview guidance into this. So this will become a complete package for a student who wants to take that journey from being an average student to sitting into a PSU or a MTech seat. So for them, this journey will be just like driving a Lamborghini to work. So that sort of a experience, that sort of a royal experience we are going to give you. So let's move on to the lecture, and if you want to join Unacademy, just make sure you use the code AnkitESE to get my guidance as well as to get 10% over and above whatever Unacademy offers you. So now let's move on to the lecture, dear friends, and let's see what we have in store for you.
Hi guys, in this video we'll be starting a new topic, that is BJT amplifier. So up to now what we have done is we have seen the DC circuits involving BJT, and we have seen some DC applications like voltage regulator and current mirror circuit. But now we'll be going on to the main application of BJT, that is we have to use BJT as an amplifier. So first let us understand what is meant by an amplifier. So an amplifier, if we talk about amplifier, it is a circuit that increases amplitude of an AC signal. Now suppose the input signal is A sine omega t. Then the output signal should be B sine omega t plus phi. There is some phase shift and the amplitude has changed. So how you can find power of xt? The power is equal to x RMS square. Now RMS of sinusoidal signal is a by root 2. So square would be a square by 2. What about power of yt? It will be simply b square by 2. Always remember, the power of an AC signal is given by square of its RMS value. Now if you see that, if we say that b is greater than a, in that case power of signal y is greater than power of signal x. That means amplifier also increases power of AC signal. But we know that overall power of a system is conserved. Then how can we increase the power of AC signal? For that we give DC supply. I told you the DC supply in any circuit is called as biasing, which we have studied so far, and the AC supply is called as input signal. So if you want to increase the power of the input signal, you have to draw power from the DC supply. So what happens in an amplifier? It consumes power from DC biasing and supplies some fraction of power, some fraction of P to input AC signal. It does not completely send the power drawn from DC into AC, but only some fraction of the power drawn from the DC supply. That means rest of the power drawn from DC supply will be wasted, or efficiency will not be 100%. Okay. Suppose it is drawing 1 watt power from the DC supply, it will send 0.5 watt to the AC signal, and rest of the 0.5 watt will be dissipated in the circuit. Now see this circuit that I have shown here, the system. There is a gain. Gain is nothing but output by input. That is called as gain of amplifier, and it is the most important parameter when we talk about amplifier. Now see this input signal. I told you we take a small signal input. Why small signal? So that we can linearize the characteristic, and once it is linearized we can use superposition principle, that is we can solve separately for DC and AC. Now see the output. output is negative of the input. See, when input is positive, output is negative. It means 180 degree phase shift. As I earlier told you, common emitter configuration gives 180 degree phase shift, and that is what I have shown here, 180 degree phase shift between input and the output. Okay. The amplitude of the output has increased, as well as there is 180 degree phase shift between input and the output. Now, ideally, how do we model an amplifier? We show an input resistance inside the amplifier. Then there is gain A and an output resistance. So, if you want to show it in more proper manner, how we show it? This is your input resistance Rin. The voltage across it is called as Vin. Then we show a dependent voltage source with gain A into Vin in series with the output resistance Rout. Now generally we connect a supply here. The source can have a certain resistance Rs and the source can have a value Vs. Similarly, we will connect load here RL. Okay. That sort of a circuit we show in case of an amplifier, and only this part of the circuit represents amplifier. Okay. The left part is source and the rightmost part is load. Okay. So amplifier is represented by a dependent voltage source whose voltage is multiple of the input voltage. It is multiplied by a factor called as the gain of an amplifier. There are certain parameters which we define for an ideal amplifier. Now what are those parameters? That this gain is equal to A. The output resistance for an ideal amplifier is 0 and input resistance is infinite. Now how I am saying these parameters for an ideal amplifier? Now see, the voltage across the load is not A into Vin because there is some voltage drop across Rout. That means the total voltage does not appear across the load due to this output resistance. But if this output resistance is 0, then the entire voltage can be obtained across the load, and that is why I am saying for an ideal amplifier the output resistance must be 0. Similarly, if you see, Vin is not equal to Vs. Why? Because there is some voltage drop across the load. Otherwise, what you can see here is Vin is Vs into Rn by Rn plus Rs, or you can say Vs by 1 plus Rs by Rn. Now if this Rn is infinite, this voltage will be equal to Vs. That means the total supply voltage will appear across Rn, and that is desirable, so Rn must be infinite. So for an ideal amplifier, the input resistance must be infinite and the output resistance must be 0. But practically this does not take place, so we want input resistance to be as high as possible and the output resistance to be as low as possible. So these are the requirements that we want to satisfy when we talk about practical amplifier. So when we talk about voltage gain, it is represented by AV, it is V0 by Vin. Current gain is represented by AI, I0 by In, and power gain by AP, which is AV into AI. Okay. So three gains we can define for an amplifier: voltage gain, current gain, and the power gain. Next, let us talk about how to model BJT in case of AC supply. Now first let us talk about these capacitors that I have shown here, C1, C2 and C3. If you see this C1 is connected with the source, C2 is connected with the output, and C3 across RE. So C1 and C2 are called as coupling capacitors. Why coupling capacitors? Because for AC source and load, they are connecting the output to the circuit and they are connecting the input to the circuit. Because when we talk about AC supply, what I told you is short circuit capacitor. If you short circuit capacitor, this Vs gets connected to base, and similarly V0 gets connected to collector. So if you want to connect the input and the output, then you have to make use of C1 and C2. Similarly, if you see C3, if you short circuit C3 in AC source, this RE will be short circuited. If RE is short circuited, ammeter will be connected to the ground. So C3 is called as ammeter bypass capacitor. Bypass means it will bypass the resistance RE and it will connect the ammeter terminal of BJT to ground. So these three resistance capacitances are important when we talk about the AC analysis of a BJT amplifier, C1, C2 and C3. Okay. Now when we perform AC analysis of a BJT, then what we have to do is we have to short circuit DC supply. So see one thing, in case of DC supply, capacitor will be open. Why it is open? Because 1 by omega C tends to infinity. But in case of AC supply, we short circuit the capacitor. That means when you are performing DC analysis, you will open circuit this capacitor. So Vs will get disconnected. You will open circuit this capacitor. V0 will get disconnected. And you will open circuit this capacitor so that Re comes into the circuit. I also told you what is the purpose of Re. It is used to stabilize the Q point. So ammeter resistance is important for stabilization. So when we draw AC model, then we have to short circuit all DC supply. Either you short circuit the DC supply or you ground the DC supply. So when we talk about AC equivalent, then what we do is, see this. What I will do here, this is RS, Vs, and this capacitor is shorted. These are two resistances, R1 and R2. Now this DC supply VCC will be grounded. This is RC. This is RE. And this capacitor is short circuited. C2 is also short circuited. This is V0. Okay. Now see one thing. See one thing, that this resistance Re is short circuited. That means this Re will not affect the AC model. Now see, the top terminal is grounded and the bottom terminal is grounded. So these resistances R1 and R2 are connected in parallel. So let me modify the circuit in the next diagram. So what I am saying is, this is RS, this is Vs. Okay. Now this is this terminal base. I told R1 and R2 will be coming in parallel. So I am showing like this, R1 parallel R2. Now this is your BJT. Ammeter gets directly connected to ground due to this capacitor C3. Now this RC, if you ground this VCC, this RC is connected between collector and ground. So it means we will show RC between collector and ground. Collector, ammeter, base. Okay. So that will be the AC equivalent of your BJT or your BJT amplifier. Now there are certain terms that we define for this BJT. What are the important terms? First one is called as input impedance. Now what is this input impedance? It is Zin. It is the ratio of input voltage to input current. Okay. Now how to find this input impedance? Always remember, this is very important point, mark it. Always remember, when you want to find out input impedance, don't include the source resistance. So the voltage after the source resistance is Vin and the current is In. So remember this, input impedance does not include Rs. Okay. So that is your input impedance. And as I told you, for voltage amplifier we want input resistance to be as high as possible. Next important parameter is output impedance. Output impedance is Z out is V out by I out, but in this case we make Vs equal to 0. We remove the source. So what does it mean is, this is V naught and this is I out. But always remember, if there is some resistance RL here, this is the load resistance, this RL must not be included if RL is shown here like this. This RL is not included in your output impedance. So output impedance does not include RL. Is my point clear to you? So when we talk about input impedance, we have to ignore the source resistance, and when we talk about output impedance, we have to ignore the load resistance. And the third most important parameter that we derive for any amplifier is the voltage gain. We write it as AV, V out by V in. Okay. So that is your voltage gain. And we also define one more parameter, that is overall voltage gain, that is AVS, V out over Vs. Okay. That is your overall voltage gain, AVS. So these are the important parameters that we define for a BJT amplifier or for any other amplifier. But what you have to remember in this section, when finding input impedance, ignore Rs. When finding output impedance, ignore RL. Now what happens is, if you see this, we drawn the AC equivalent, but this BJT is a non-linear circuit, or you can say BJT is a semiconductor device. Now I want to remove this device and replace it by network elements like resistance, inductor and capacitor. I want to model this BJT in terms of basic network elements so that I can solve this circuit. As simple as that. I just want to solve this circuit. For that I need to replace BJT by network element, and that process is called as modeling of BJT. So now we will study different models that are defined for BJT, and the first model is called as Ebers-Moll model. Now Ebers-Moll model says that BJT consists of two diodes, one between ammeter and base and one between base and collector. So see this is a NPN transistor. So there are two diodes from P to N and again from P to N. So this is your diode D1 and this is your diode D2. So these are two diodes. Now what is the question is, why we have shown these dependent sources? The reason is that these diodes are not independent of each other. If charge carriers are entering from ammeter to base, these are the electrons, then they also reach the collector. That means the charge carriers flowing through this diode are also entering the second diode, and that is why if the current of this diode is IED, some part of this current reaches the collector, and what is that part? Alpha F into IED. Alpha F is called as forward current gain. Is my point clear to you? If charge carriers are entering from emitter to base, they don't exit from the base itself, but some of the charge carriers reach the collector region. That means not entire current does not leave the base, but some portion of current reaches the collector, and that portion of current is represented by this dependent source alpha F into IED. Since it is only some portion of the current, this alpha F will be less than 1. Okay, that means some part of the emitter current will also reach the collector. That is called as alpha F. Similarly, if charge carriers are flowing from collector to base, suppose if electrons are going like this from collector to base, some electrons will reach the emitter. That is why if this diode carries a current ICD, some part of this current reaches the emitter. So alpha R is the reverse current gain. Why we are calling it as reverse? When we were talking about working of BJT, what did I tell you? Charge carriers always flow from emitter to collector. So charge carriers first enter the base region and then they reach the collector region. But if you are operating in the reverse manner, that is charge carriers are entering the collector and then they are reaching the emitter, so it is the reverse process, and hence the current gain defined is your alpha R or the reverse current gain. Is my point very clear to you? So what I have done is I have replaced the BJT by two diodes from P region to N region, but since charge carriers flowing from one diode will also affect the third region, so that effect is shown by use of two dependent sources having the gain alpha F and alpha R. Okay. So now if you apply KCL here, what is emitter current IE? IE, basically this IE should be like this. This IE should be like this, because current is entering from base and collector, so it must leave the emitter. This must be IE. This arrow is incorrect. Now if you apply KCL, what is IE? IED minus alpha R ICD. Similarly, if you apply KCL in IC, IC is alpha F IED minus ICD. Okay. Now this IED is basically diode current. So what is this diode current equal to? It is equal to I E naught e to the power, since it is diode current, VBE by eta VT minus 1, because the voltage across diode is base emitter voltage. What about ICD? It is IC naught e to the power. The voltage across this diode is VBC by eta VT minus 1. So these are the two diode currents based on which we can write down the total current of emitter and collector. What I can write down? IE is IEO e to the power VBE by eta VT minus 1 minus alpha R ICO e to the power VBC by eta VT minus 1. Similarly, this collector current alpha F IEO e to the power VBE by eta VT minus 1 minus ICO e to the power VBC by eta VT minus 1. Okay. So these are the ammeter and the collector current based on this circuit. Now what is the beauty of this Ebers-Moll model? It is the most accurate model among all the models that we'll be studying about BJT. There is no better model than Ebers-Moll. Then what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is the non-linear nature because we are using exponential equation. Now when we talk about Ebers-Moll model, it is valid for all operating regions of BJT. This was one question that was asked in GATE as well. Ebers-Moll model is valid for all operating region, which are 4 region: active, saturation, cutoff and inverse active. So let me show you how we define for active region. For active region, what do we say? Ammeter base junction is forward biased and collector base junction is reverse biased. So what we can do is, this ammeter base is a diode, this is ammeter, this is base, and this collector base diode will be open circuited because collector base junction is reverse bias. So what is this ICD? ICD is 0. See this diode is reverse bias, so its current would be 0. If ICD is 0, the current source dependent on that will also be 0. So the current source above it will be open circuited like this. What about the current source here? This current is IED. So this current source will exist like this, alpha F I E D. So what about this collector current? One minute. Actually, this diode was reverse. This diode was like this. We were talking about NPN. Okay, this diode was opposite. So this is your current IED and this is alpha F IED. So what about collector current by KCL? Alpha F IED. What about ammeter current? IED. What about base current? Base current is ammeter current minus collector current. So IED 1 minus alpha F. Okay. So that way we can represent any operating mode of a BJT. Like in saturation, you will forward bias both the diodes. So no element will be removed. Both the current sources will be there and both diodes will be there. In cutoff, what do? We reverse bias both the diodes. If both junctions are reverse bias, both diodes will be open. Hence, both current sources will also be open. So this is the only model of BJT which is applicable in all the operating regions, that is the 4 region. Okay. So what is the advantage of Ebers-Moll model? The first advantage is all operating regions are covered. Second, it can be used at any bias and temperature. What about drawback? What about drawback of this model? First of all, it is non-linear model because we are using exponential equation, or you can say large signal model. Large signal means if the AC signal is large, we cannot linearize the BJT. So non-linearity we have to use in large signal, and it uses diodes. So these are the disadvantages of the Ebers-Moll model. So let me summarize what we have learned so far. When we talk about AC analysis of BJT, what steps you have to take? Ground, DC supply, short circuit, capacitors, replace BJT by its equivalent model. Then we talked about one model of BJT, which is your Ebers-Moll model. In this we saw it is valid for 4 operating regions, all the operating regions. But this model is non-linear and it is large signal model. So generally when we talk about amplifier, we will not make use of Ebers-Moll model, but based on small signal assumption, we will try to linearize the model, and once we linearize, our circuit will be simplified, and once the circuit is simple, the gain and other parameters of amplifier could be easily calculated. So that is our objective when we talk about the other 3 models of BJT, the RE or the T model, the hybrid model, and the hybrid pi model. In every model, what we'll try to do? We'll linearize the circuit so that we can easily solve it as a network. So one thing that you guys have to understand, every time you might be thinking that BJT amplifier is the most difficult topic, but if you watch the future lectures carefully, whatever I am going to teach you, you will feel that BJT amplifier is not that difficult, it is overhyped, and we learn how we can use basic network analysis to solve all the amplifier problems. No problem is difficult, but as long as your basics of network analysis is clear. So I'll solve the rest of this chapter just by network analysis, and if you have good command over it, you will feel that you were wrong about AC analysis or small signal model. It is very simple thing. Okay, so we'll start other models from the next video.
I hope all of you have enjoyed the lecture that we were providing, and all of you learned something very good. Now is the time to learn about the Unacademy subscription. So as I told the benefits of the Plus subscription at the very beginning, let's go through them very quickly. Live classes you get by the top educators, crash course, rank improvement batch, doubt clearing, weekly quiz, test series, previous year question, practice question, everything in one subscription called as Unacademy Plus. And Iconic is one level higher. It provides you a personal coach who will mentor you on a daily basis, who will guide you on a daily basis, along with providing you study planner, test analysis, study material, and soon enough interview guidance. So if you are looking to join Unacademy, let's see what are the pricing. So my dear friends, before we see the pricing, just see the link. This link will help you crack GATE and ESE with the top rank, because we have created the first ever video book for GATE and ESE for my YouTube family, and you will get the notes as well as the lectures here. Just make sure that you write this link in the uppercase and you will get to the first ever video book for GATE and ESE, and it is nothing but revolutionary. Now let's see the pricing of Plus subscription. So for 12 months the pricing is 3250, but if you apply the code Ankit ESE, it becomes 27225. For 18 months it will be 34650, and for 24 months 39600. Believe me my dear friend, this is the most affordable pricing, and the longer duration subscriptions are more cost effective as compared to shorter duration. Like here it will cost you 1650 per month. Okay, this will be 2000 per month approx. This will be around 2250 per month. Then if you go for Iconic for 12 months, it is 5250. With code Ankit ESE it becomes 45225, and 2-year subscription becomes 66600. So the choice is yours, but take a longer duration subscription for more cost effective solution, and to give GATE and ESE at least 2 times, so that if you once crack GATE, in the next attempt you can even get ESE. And other than that my friends, you can download the Unacademy learning app right now, because there we provide live classes for free, test series and live quizzes for free. And once you download it, make sure that you follow this profile. This is my profile, so that whenever I come live you will get the notification. And this is the Telegram channel for our team. Here you will find all the lecture links, all the lecture files, and all the links for the special classes. Other than that my friend, my personal Telegram channel also you can join, t.me/Ankit GATE-AIR1. Here you can get in touch with me and we can take this journey together. Okay. Other than that, we have other YouTube channels like Mechanical, Civil and Telugu, JEE channel, Computer Science, Gate Question and Electrical Junction, Pathshala and GS Terminal. Electrical Junction contains short videos of great concepts. Pathshala provides you animated content. JEE preparation can be done through these two channels, Unacademy SSC JEE and GS Terminal. And you can refer the other channels to the other friends in respective branches so that they can also be benefited. At last, I would like to say, please share, like and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel and not only subscribe, press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever a new video comes. And share these videos among all your college group, among all your friends so that we can create the first ever revolution of free education in field of GATE and ESE. Thank you to everybody for dedicating time to watching this video. Please move on to the next one as well and take the benefit of all the free content that we are providing. And in case you have completed the series, do make sure you watch the other subjects available on this channel. Thank you.